Hi folks, it's Bob from Mountain Crest Farms. Oh, I've missed talking to y'all. Been about a week, maybe a little bit longer. I think the last one that was posted was last Tuesday. And it had been recorded on Monday, otherwise you wouldn't have gotten that one on Tuesday. Some of y'all probably know because you also go to Nona Grace's channel and she mentioned it, but my mother-in-law died last Tuesday morning, about 2 o'clock in the morning, and Tuesday's video had been recorded on Monday. So you got one on Tuesday. It was recorded on Monday and edited and scheduled for a Tuesday morning post, so you got that one, but hadn't done any since then. And this one's not going to be exactly about my mother-in-law. I am going to do one about her. She was a different kind of lady. I posted on Facebook that it took 57 years. I've been married to her daughter for 7 years now. And I posted on Facebook that it took 57 years and 3 marriages for me to finally get a good mother-in-law. And she was a good one. And we'll talk about her in another video. This isn't going to be about her. It is going to be about her dying a little bit. I don't know exactly how to approach this one because I'm really angry. But I don't want to come across as angry. Why do people put so much importance in stuff and things and money? Those aren't important. No matter what stuff you've got, if you lose it, you can get some more. No matter what things you've got, if you lose it, you can get some more. No matter how much money you've got. Number one, if you lose it, you can get some more. And number two, money's not that big a deal anyway. Yeah, it's got some importance. It's a tool. Money's just a tool. It's like a hammer. You want to drive a nail, you need a hammer. You want to get stuff, you can barter, or you can pay for it with money. I mean, I've always said there's 2 kinds of currency in the world. There's money and there's time. You can spend whichever one you've got to get stuff. When you don't have much money, you spend time. You make stuff or repurpose stuff or whatever, but money's just a tool. And why do people put so much importance on stuff? I'm recording this on Monday morning. Y'all may see this later today, or I may schedule it to post tomorrow, Tuesday. I don't know. My mother-in-law died, like I said, 2 a.m. last Tuesday. And my wife's sister lives next door, and my father-in-law called over there before he called the ambulance and told Melissa that she needed to come over there, that he was calling an ambulance and he thought that Frances was dead. That was at 2 a.m. Pushing 3 a.m. by the time Melissa got over there, and she called us and said Frances was gone. My son, he's my stepson, but he's my son. I don't recognize step. Step is a legal term. It's not, has nothing to do with reality. My son lives next door as well. There's a little compound, about 15 acres. My in-laws, my sister-in-law and her husband, and my son and his wife and kids. They hadn't called my son before it happened, so when my wife and I got over there about 5 o'clock, he usually went to work about 5:30, so my mom, he's real close to his grandparents, and my wife went over there to tell him I was over with my father-in-law. And he told them, and his wife, Kayla, called a niece of mine. I will stick step niece in here, or niece-in-law, because I don't want any closer to her than I can get. Called her to let her know. First phone call. First thing she knew about Francis dying. First question out of her mouth wasn't, "How's Ben?" my father-in-law. It wasn't, "Is she for sure gone, or she just gone to the hospital in bad shape?" No. Her first question was, "Did she ever get a will written? What's in it for me?" Or she didn't actually say, "What's in it for me?" Did she ever get a will written? I wonder what we got, speaking of her and her husband. Why is stuff so... Now, you got to understand, these people are leeches. They've been trying to leech off of my in-laws for the last 7 years, ever since Cindy and I have been married. And I'll do a video on that too. But why do we put so much importance in stuff? Somebody that's supposed to be close to you, the first thing you want to know is what you get out of their death. My wife and I went over there yesterday, Sunday, and the day before, Saturday. The funeral was Friday. We went over there Saturday and Sunday because Ben asked us to come over and get my wife to help him go through paperwork and get bills straight, what gets paid, when does it get paid. See, they had an unusual relationship. They were both 80 years old, and you would think that in that age group, it's usually the husband that knows everything about what's going on, and when he dies, the wife is lost. Well, my father-in-law spent the greatest portion of his life driving a truck, so it worked the other way around. She was at home most of the time. She was the one that took care of bills. She was the one that paid everything. Ben just drove a truck, and she got the paycheck, and she took care of everything. So he was kind of lost. And Cindy went over to help get things straightened out over the weekend. Well, you know, until we went over there Saturday, finances didn't occur to me. It just... Who gives a damn what you're going to get out of somebody dying? You know? I mean, come on. How can you consider yourself a human being when your first thought is, what's in it for me? What do I get out of this person's death? How can you even consider yourself to be human? I got into it with my niece's husband Saturday, and I told him straight up, y'all are nothing but leeches. I've been watching y'all for 7 years trying to leech off of Ben and Francis, and I've kept my mouth shut to keep peace in the family, but I'm done with that because you're not going to take advantage of Ben. You're nothing but leeches. You're sorry, worthless leeches. And I told him, I said, you don't have to stay that way. You can start out, you can be you're 40-ish years old, and you can be a piece of crap. And you are a piece of crap. But you don't have to stay that way. Everybody knows my backstory. I was pretty much a piece of crap till 2008 myself. I drank every drop of liquor I could get my hands on. Drank myself out of a couple of marriages. I know what it is to be a piece of crap, and I was one. Believe me, one of these days I'll tell you my story. And I might lose half my subscribers when I do, because I was a real piece of work, but I'm not now. You don't have to stay that way. And that's what I told Josh. You're a piece of garbage. You're a leech. You won't support your own family. Everybody else has to buy your kids Christmas and buy food for your kids. You're a sorry, worthless piece of garbage, but you don't have to stay that way. But that's not my business. What my business is you're not going to take advantage of my father-in-law ever again. I will see to that. I might not live in the same town, but I'm only 45 minutes away, and I can guarantee you, you will not take advantage of Ben. He got kind of mad. I actually thought he was going to try to whip my butt. And in a fair fight, he could. I'm 64, I've got a few health issues. He's 40-ish, 38, something like that. In fairly decent shape. A little sawed-off runt, but he's in fairly decent shape. And in a fair fight, he could probably put a serious hurting on me. Thing of it is, I know that. I don't fight fair. I fight to win, and I fight to keep from getting hurt. So I'm not too worried about what would have happened if he had tried me out. But I was expecting him to, because I laid into him. Y'all think I'm a nice person, and I think I'm a nice person most of the time. But I was not nice Saturday. I told my wife before we ever went over there that our daughter, Sarah, I said, Sarah's not going. She said, why? I said, I've kept my mouth shut yesterday, day of the funeral. I kept my mouth shut the day before, visitation at the funeral home, which I want to do a video on visitation too. Visitation's a weird thing that I think should go away. But I said, I've kept my mouth shut all week. But today, when we get to Chatsworth, Bob turns into an asshole. And Sarah doesn't need to be there to see it. So, somebody just explained to me why stuff and things and money have to be so important that they come ahead of family. They come ahead of loving your family. Forget loving other people, which you should do anyway. Bible, let's see, Book of Matthew 18, somewhere around 20, 25, verse 20 or 25, tells you you're supposed to love everybody. It doesn't say you're supposed to like them, but it says you're supposed to love them. But you certainly ought to love your family. The first thing out of your mouth shouldn't be, was there a will? Did I get anything out of it? It should be the last thing that comes to your mind. You shouldn't even think that until somebody comes to you, the family lawyer or the probate judge, somebody comes to you and says, oh, by the way, he or she left you this. That's the first time you ought to think about stuff like that. I mean, there's other business has to be taken care of. You know, what bills need paying, what's current, what's not. I just don't understand some people. I just do not understand some people. There's a whole lot more important stuff in this life than things and stuff and money. I've had a whole lot more money in my life than I got now. I have made, you'd never know it, the toothless redneck pig farmer. I have made some seriously good money in my life. I don't mean a little bit of good money. I have made some seriously good money in my life. I got nothing now. I drank it all away. And you know what? The little bit I got, my place is paid for. We don't have any bills. Well, we got one now after this past week. We've got one ongoing bill, but the only bills we've got are month-to-month bills, you know, pay the power bill, got a storage unit, pay the monthly rental on that, pay the car insurance, and the homeowner's insurance, life insurance. That's it. As long as we got enough to pay that, sure, a little bit extra would be nice. If somebody wants to come to Jasper, Georgia and drop off a sack with $1 million in it, as long as it's legal, and tell me it's mine, I'll take it. I'm not going to say I wouldn't enjoy a few extra bucks. But loving money so much that it comes ahead of other stuff, I don't understand. I'm 64 and I think I'm fairly smart, but you know what? I just don't understand that. So I'm going to ask y'all, please, if you're hung up on stuff and things and money, turn loose of that. Money's a tool. Money's something you have to have at certain times to do certain things. I just told you my place is paid for. If I don't pay my property taxes every year, I'll lose it. So I got to have a little bit of money every year to pay property taxes. We don't produce all our own food here. We've got to have a little bit of money to go to the grocery store. But all it is a tool. Don't get so hung up on it. Whew. That's about all I got for y'all today. Except for the tomb was empty, and he is alive. Now, y'all go have a fantastic day, and I'll see you in the next video. I might not be back to every day at this point. I'll see what I can do. Still some business to take care of over in Chatsworth, but I'll see y'all in the next video, and until then, have an absolutely awesome day. See ya.